After 2 showings at E3, Submarine still wasn't finished. 5 years later at E3 2010, Submarine was unveiled to the world one last time on a new platform with a new title, now called Steel Diver. It was targeting the Nintendo 3DS as a launch title. In an Iwata Asks article released on February 25, 2011, the late great former president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, sat down with Nintendo EAD's general manager, legendary video game designer Shigeru Miyamoto, and asked him about the production history of Steel Diver. This article offers a great deal of insight into how important Submarine was to Miyamoto. Iwata questioned Miyamoto on why Steel Diver is being developed into a full game now, so many years after Submarine was unveiled at E3 2004. Miyamoto replied, quote, "You're right that the development time was very long, but its initial planning started off even long before the Nintendo DS demo version was made. In short, I always wanted to make a flight simulation game." Later in the interview, Iwata says he believes Submarine wasn't just made as a tech demo, but instead Miyamoto made it because he always wanted to make a game like that, to which Miyamoto agreed. Miyamoto then asked Iwata if he remembered Steel Battalion, an Xbox game developed by Capcom that utilized its own unique 40-button 3-piece controller to simulate piloting a vertical tank. Miyamoto confided in Iwata that he was mortified when Steel Battalion released, as he felt that others had beaten him to the punch of developing a simulation game with a unique controller like that. Miyamoto continued, telling Iwata he never tried to make Steel Diver until the DS came around because he always wanted it to feel like you were piloting a submarine, something he saw as impossible with a simple controller featuring a joystick and buttons. Miyamoto specifically liked the idea of a controller with a throttle, a switch that stays in the last position you left it, something that didn't exist on any modern controller. Putting all of the controls on the bottom touchscreen alleviated this issue. Miyamoto described the feeling of controlling the game as akin to using an audio mixer. Iwata then asked Miyamoto why Steel Diver wasn't a game for the original DS then, if the DS had solved all his problems with the control scheme. Miyamoto replied, saying it was simply because his hands were full with other projects at the time, but elaborated further by stating, quote, "The project was on hold and about 2 years after the Nintendo DS system was released, one of the teams finally had time to work on it. That's when we resumed its development as a Nintendo DS title. But right as we were making it, the features of Nintendo 3DS system started to get fixed. So while we were developing, we thought, this would work so much better on the Nintendo 3DS system. It's basically a side-scrolling submarine game where you would move through a 3-dimensional body of water. We thought it would look so much prettier if there was a depth to it and the wide screen." Steel Diver would release on March 27, 2011 as a 3DS launch title in North America. It received a mixed reception, though it seems to have garnered a small cult following nowadays.